But the big one I've learned as we've got older is 3 simple words. How are you?
The number 2 is your calming influence. You know, you've got to have people around you that challenge you.
I got a feeling, I know you feel it. I think we're onto something good.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Under the Umbrella. I'm Ashley, the recruitment manager here, and I'm so excited to kick things off with you. In this series, we'll be giving you a behind the scenes look at what it's like to work in the financial services. We'll be sharing stories from our team, from ex-professional athletes to self-employed business people. We've welcomed people from all walks of life into this industry. This podcast is here to show you exactly how they did it. So if you're curious about a career where your hard work translates into real rewards, stay tuned. We've got some inspiring episodes coming up.
So on the 3rd episode of Under the Umbrella, we're delighted to welcome Mr. Scott Thorpe, the CEO of TMG Mortgage Network. It's a big plug for us, getting you on. Thank you for coming.
I feel like I needed to do it. I wanted to be part of the team, and it's my first one as well. So what a wonderful setup to do it in.
Great. And you've had the treatment off Ash, being a makeup artist as well.
Yeah, first ever time with makeup. So first ever podcast, first ever makeup done. Ash is now telling me to go and get some Botox. So I might look like you in 6 months. Let's redo one in 6 months and see how good I can look then.
I never thought I'd see the day. The boy from Rotherham.
Rotherham.
Full slap on of makeup on. Brilliant.
Can we edit it out? Because I can guarantee I'm not going to get ripped and ripped and ripped.
No, that's ammunition for me. I'm keeping that in the bank in case anything goes wrong. I'm keeping that.
So we're going to talk about I can't even get my words out.
That's all right.
We're going to talk about the ammo, and we're going to talk about your background.
Yeah.
And I'll steal your thunder. We're going to talk about when we first met.
Yeah.
And you was going to ask me, what did I think? So I'm going to throw the ammo back now and go, shiny teeth, Botox, what a good looking kid.
I'll take that. I've been called worse.
Yeah.
I've been called worse. But no, I remember it clearly. I think we've worked together 2.5 years now coming up. And this episode is actually celebrating Umbrella's 9th anniversary with a bit of a Halloween spin as well. We got some props in the back. But my first impressions when I jumped on that Zoom call, because I was looking to find the right home for Umbrella. And I think you do this when you interview advisors or meet new people. The first question you'll ask is, do you like them? And my first thought was, these are my kind of people. And we're on the same page. For me, it was more like a collaboration. And there's a lot of networks out there, or, you know, sort of other firms that would be very much, well, this is our way or the highway. And for me, it was just seeing Umbrella's vision of where we wanted to go. And TMG have been a huge part of our growth. So little plug for TMG there, because it's been amazing for the last 2.5 years.
What numbers were you at when you first came over? So I can remember, obviously, we did Zoom, and it's a Barry boy and a Rotherham boy talking on a Zoom in our old boardroom. The other thing what you do ask is, what football team do you support?
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a negative when you're a Man United fan.
Yeah, a lot. I thought I lost the room at that point, to be fair.
It could have been worse. It could have been Wednesday. So we got away with that bit. But what staffing numbers were you back then? Was it 8?
I feel like we had 7 advisors, 1 administrator, and we were averaging probably about touching 100 policies a month.
And record month this year?
327 policies. So that's a huge growth in 2.5 years.
It is fantastic. I love it because I get to speak to you a lot, and obviously we'll text, we'll WhatsApp a lot. To see the growth is probably my biggest achievement, and I've not really played any part in it. I'll just nudge you now and again. But to see how you've grown as a business and what you bring on a social platform, it's just inspiring. And I think a lot of our brokers and other firms out there should look at Umbrella. I always talk about Umbrella and be like, have you seen their social? Have you seen what we're doing now? And it's just brilliant. Yeah. And the most important thing, people need cover, and people have these claim stories, which you're helping people. So I think that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we spoke earlier this morning, and you sometimes realize that you're doing a great job when all of our clients, prospects will come through existing recommendations and social media. So I know a lot of other firms would do lead generators and stuff like this, but I've never ever used lead generators. And for us to do those sorts of numbers through recommendations of us giving people a good service is amazing.
Yeah, and I think people will do lead gen quite well, but ultimately it's a warmer lead when it comes to you, and they've already bought into, they've already seen your social platform, they know what you do, they'll have seen a claim story. I think it's testament to how much work you put into it, and I think people don't understand how much work goes into social, and you've got to be on it 24/7. So people might go, "Oh, that looks brilliant and it's edited well," but ultimately there's a lot of work what goes into it, and a lot of hours what you're not getting paid for doing it. You just have to keep posting content.
Yeah. I think we came to the recent TMG event, and I know we've talked about Umbrella's growth in the 9 years and in the last 2.5, but I was humbled when I saw the timeline of TMG when it started. 2021, it was born,
Yeah,
if I'm right, and about 4.5 years on, and look how
yeah,
much you've grown.
300 advisors now. But it's a bit like you. We don't go out and recruit. We'll market quite well. We're doing it, but ultimately we want people to win because they buy off us and they like us, and we do have that no dickhead policy. Like, if you're a dickhead, you're not coming in.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with people what I don't like. I want to be able to add value. And if we can't add value, there's no point being with us. So I think the hard bit for me is always looking at everyone going, right, how do we add value to that company? How do we help them do social? How do we help them with their CRM system? What is the bit what's going to make you stay with us? And that's probably the hard bit of, you've got to constantly graft, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're not a massive corporate. You're not a massive corporate. So you have to do the basics right.
Yeah.
But then is, right, next level, next day, what we're doing now, where we're going. So yeah, we've grown well, but that's only because we get recommendations like you do. And I think any business what you're in, whether it's mortgages, protection, selling clothes, building houses, recommendation is the key to any business. That's what will make you grow without having hefty investment in you.
I think that's a huge point you made about working with people you like, because how much money will it cost you, or time, working with someone that you don't like, where their energy zapping, negative person, not quite on your page, buying into your culture and what you're trying to achieve. So I get that completely. At first, it's your job, your life, and you've got to enjoy your job,
Yeah.
your life. So the only way to do that is work with people that you like.
Yeah, I think we've both had negative things where you employ people or you don't employ people, or they waste time and you don't like what they're doing. Ultimately, you can't get that time back, and you sat at home going, they've done this now, or they've done that, and you're speaking to your partner going, I can't believe so-and-so has done this, or I'm really annoyed about that. And that's where you have to be like, we're going to have to be harsh, and sometimes you have to get rid of people. Sometimes you can't have that negativity impact the team. And you with your football career, you never have if you've got a bad egg in the camp, you kind of want to get rid of them, don't you?
It spreads.
It'll kill the dressing room.
Yeah, absolutely. It does spread.
So we know you've had a football career, mainly sat on the bench,
True.
warming the bench or in the injury room.
Well, okay, I'll let you have it.
But yeah, I mean, I always love being surrounded by footballers. To play at the level you've been at is fantastic. But no one really knows after the football career. Everyone thinks it's glamorous.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks you're going to have a fantastic pension and you've got loads of money because you've earned it. But that's not the story. And you'll go on your podcast speaking to other players, talking about it. So what happened day you retired?
Mm-hmm.
And then how much money have you got in your bank account when you retired?
Mm.
And then what did you do to make ends meet? Because it's not all glamour. Everyone sees the social media, but deep down on it, it's not as glamorous as it looks at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's really, really scary times, because I come out of full-time football at 26 years old and was playing semi-professional, but of course it's not enough to have a lifestyle pay for all your bills, it might do, but it's certainly not a glamorous lifestyle. So I did every job known to man, I think. I think my work ethic has always been there with whatever I've done, but the jobs that I've done, it's embarrassing to say, but I think it's part of my story is,
What's your first job after football?
well, I was doing anything to make money because I was at one point cleaning carpets. I hired a rug doctor from Morrison's and was taking cash in hand from all my mates, ringing my mates, I'm going to clean your carpet, getting myself through the door.
So tell me about the business story then, because there's always a business angle. So you go in cleaning carpets. 1, where did you get the idea from? 2, how much did it cost you to buy the
Yeah.
rug thing? And then how much were you making off it?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it was against the clock because you had to hire it and it was 48 hours that you'd have it for. So I was thinking, right, how many carpets can I clean in 48 hours before I've got to give it back? And then you've got to go and get a new one. And I was just using my network around me. And of course, that was never going to be a career. It was me getting a little bit of change to pay for lifestyle. But just other jobs that I've done, oh my God, I was delivering catalogues. And bearing in mind, at this point, I'd just been released from Swansea City, living in Cardiff. And not that I was a very well-known footballer, but people within football circles would probably know who I am. And I was delivering catalogues, working for Clean Easy, which is like the knockoff of Avon. And, you know, you get the catalogues through the door. And then the job itself was to go back 2 days later, collect the catalogues and see if you've got any orders. And you 99% of the time, you'd either just not have the catalogue or it'd be thrown in the bin or it's just blank. Oh, it was just dreadful.
Any Cardiff fans?
Oh, exactly. Because I had a disguise on. I used to walk around with a hat. And I remember thinking at one point answering the door and there was someone I knew from Cardiff. I was thinking, oh my God, is he going to recognise me? It was terrible, demoralising for me. At one point, I put my hand through the letterbox, got bitten by a dog, my fingers hanging off. I'm on the phone to my mum saying, how the hell is this my life? I used to be playing in the Championship on the bench for Wales as an international, and now I'm delivering catalogues, getting bitten by dogs. So, oh my God. So I think I've done the other job. Let me tell you this one, because it was a little bit dark at one point where there was no company's house register. I set up a Twitter account for Simple Turf was born. So my idea was I was going to lay AstroTurf around people's houses on YouTube. How do you do it? Right. Found out all the layering, bought the materials, and straight away I got a booking. And I was emailing this lady, agreed a price. She sent me pictures of her garden, £1,000. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get paid £1,000. And I turned up at her house and it was mounds and ridges and all this. And I was thinking, I don't know what I'm doing here. And, you know, obviously I had a conscience because I told the lady that I was inundated with bookings and I can't take you on right now. So I didn't take her money. But I think I was willing to do anything for a quid. And my mindset was, if I'm working while others aren't, no matter what I'm doing, I'm being productive, I think.
I mean, you look at the mindset of, I need to work, I need to earn money, I've got my children, got my family. I think that makes you more successful in business. So you learn on the job. So you'll go, right, I'm going to go and lay some turf. And you're looking at YouTube to find out how to do it. Or we'll go on to ChatGPT. Like, you go and find what you're doing because you know there's money there to be made. And people will talk about it while you walk the walk, which is what I love. Because you will be, right, if I learn about it, then I can do it. Whereas people will talk about it and go, I'm going to do it next week, I'm going to do it next month. You're going to look at a YouTube and do it, laying lawns, and that's what makes you special, to be like, right, I've just done it. Don't know what I'm going to do. So last night we filmed, we didn't know what we was filming, and we did it and we posted it out, and I think mine had 700 views, but that's 700 people looking at you. And whether you look at it or not, it's still 700 people going, actually,
Yeah.
there's a real person underneath it, and at least they're trying to do something. I think that's a big bit for me of just push yourself out there, get out there. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but you have to try it, don't you? If you don't try it, you'll never know if it works or not
Yeah.
work. What other crazy ideas did you have but then didn't do? Did you look at any like other
Yeah.
businesses?
Well, I think I've got to give my dad a plug here because he gave me a job, and
Did he not want you to sing with him?
no, I haven't got a great voice. He's got that. I missed that gene, but he was a great leadership coach, and I probably subconsciously picked up a lot from working with him. I worked with him for about 12 months, and he used to run these personal effectiveness workshops where he used to go and present about leadership and commitment and how to get people to be the best version of themselves. And I was listening. I was essentially his T-boy. Let's have it right. I was putting up his posters, doing the admin. In fairness, he teed me up for some introductions. So it's probably the first time I
Yeah.
sort of heard my voice or needed to do it, use my voice. But there's probably some nuggets in there that I really picked up from my dad. And he's always been a go-getter, a grafter. So I think my mum is the same as well, of course. But my dad was certainly a go-getter in work life. And I think I picked that up from him.
What's the best nugget of advice you've got off your dad and off your mum?
I was going to do a Welsh accent then, Matthew.
Yeah, we need to try the Welsh. We've got to get the Welsh in it at some point.
My mother would say, Matthew, be yourself. Be yourself. Just be yourself. And I think you do get that imposter syndrome when you go into business and you think you've got to be something different. But I think if you are yourself and you're confident in who you are and what you're trying to achieve. So I'd give my mum a plug there. I think my mum gave me the best bit of advice.
Kept you grounded.
Yeah, absolutely. And aside from that, other jobs is I had a job in telesales in Cardiff, where it was like a Wall Street floor, and this contract came through. Whereas I signed the contract, it looked amazing. I couldn't believe my luck. Decent salary, and it was like a 12-week training program. I thought brilliant. Straight away in the first week, I was on the phones, and it was the best schooling for me, where there was no hiding place. It's the first time I heard my voice, I suppose, on the telephone, speaking to bosses and trying to get people to attend these networking events. It was a great job. Some great lads as well. Dan Maggs and Huey, little plug for them because they're great friends of mine. But that was, you don't have to use your voice in football, do you?
No. So when you're in the call centre, I always think you have to be invested in to sell something. But I reckon you've got the gift of the gaff. So even though you were selling these events, did you believe in it or could you sell it?
I didn't believe in it. No.
Could you still sell it?
Yeah, I could. I wasn't that successful doing it, but I think I was good at being on the phone and getting my message across. I think that was my skill. But I didn't believe in it, but I could sell it. Yeah.
How do you sell? Because I think this is a big point of, it's easy to sell protection because you really believe in it, but how do you sell when you don't believe in it? So is it scripted? So a lot of people use sales scripts, or how did you find selling when you didn't believe in a product? Would it just standard, like every call was set up, this is how we're doing it, or?
Yeah. I think that in this industry and what we do with insurance, the turning point for me was that first claim, because then you believe in it. You get the message from the client saying, oh my God, thank you so much. You've helped me. And at the time, yes, what are you providing? A piece of paper.
Yeah.
You know, you're not really investing in it. It sounds great, but that was the turning point for me when I got my first claim through. I was puffed my shoulders up and thought, I'm doing something really important here. The message, I always remember the client from South Wales. Thank you so much. I can now pay for the bills and the house isn't going to get taken away from me because I'm broke my leg and I'm off work. So I was thinking, yeah, it's something to believe in, definitely.
And I think we'll plug MetLife because obviously you do a lot of broken bone cover. And I think, yeah, you've got to experience it or understand it or have a family or have kids to sell the product. But ultimately, I've had 2 claim stories myself on the product. So it just goes really nice. But when you have that story and you're able to promote it on social media, people see the real story behind it. So I did my meniscus, and I tried running it off, and waited ages to have surgery on it. But I think I got $3,000 on mine. And then obviously Amelia, 6 months ago, walking across a little cross pole at the horses. The horse reared and ran off, and Amelia just screaming. I'm watching her, and the horse just tips her and she falls off. And one arm's gone one way, the other arm's gone the other way. And terribly as a parent, I'm looking and going, yeah, but that horse is quite expensive. So I've gone and ran after the horse and not run after Amelia, who was screaming with her arm going the other way. And there's an air ambulance there, there's a paramedic there. And all I'm doing is going, that's $2,500.
I know.
That's
Well,
$2,500.
I can remember you sending me the pictures in the helicopter. Was it the helicopter? And I was thinking, oh my God, he's got the claim on his mind now. You were saying, can you ring Bupa?
Yeah.
Or can you ring MetLife for me? And yeah, you're a great dad, by the way, but it was a bad dad moment, probably.
But the stupid bit is, and I think this is why it sells quite well. So when Amelia's in hospital after she's pumped with God knows how many drugs, and she's looking around going, right, what's that kid in hospital for? Oh, he's broke his arm playing basketball, or that person fell off here. And she's going, yeah, but have I got the best break in the hospital? I'm thinking, Amelia, it's gone one way and gone a different way. You can't move any of your fingers and you're in for 2 days. So I think it is the best break. But then for her, it's like, I've got a claim now. I've got some money out of that.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes the mind off it. So when you are doing it, it's the same price as Spotify or whatever we pay for. It does care about them. And even if you've got a child shield product or whatever it is, that could be play for a PlayStation for a week while we're off school or for doing something. And I can remember Bear went to school the day after and was going, right, but I'm going to fall off my horse next week and I'm going to get a payout. And when I fall off, I'm going to get X, Y, and Z. So it's important. And I think sometimes we live and breathe it that much. It's better to have them examples.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are the leader of TMG Mortgage Network, and obviously one of the biggest networks in the financial services. A lot of pressure, a lot of stress. We talk about stress all the time, and I'll ask you how you cope with stress, but I've got to say, since meeting you, I think I used to not deal with stress as well as I do now. And I think probably you rub off on me a little bit because...
And vice versa.
Definitely. Well, I hope so. But when I see my phone, 167 unread WhatsApp messages this morning, it's probably on 200 and something now. I think the way I see that you deal with problems that undoubtedly that you get all the time, stresses, and you just take them in your stride. So it rubs off on me. So I think I've been a lot calmer in work and in life since knowing you as a mate and as, you know, a business colleague as well. So how do you deal with stress?
Very badly. If I'm being brutally honest, I am not the best with stress. And we talked about it with football. You need a good number 2, or you need a good sounding board around you. So I've got Nick in the office, and bless him, he will have all my problems and all my anger and all the bits what I have. I'll sound off at him like you can sound off at me. So you've got to have someone around you what understands your problems. I've got Heidi at home, what's really good with me. I don't hide it very well, if I'm honest. I can sometimes walk in the office and be like, I really don't want to be here. But at the end of it, like, all our brokers are our brokers, and they have a problem, they're reaching out. I want to help them because that's what got us where we are today. Stress, how do I get rid of it? A couple of bits. Holiday every quarter is massive. Not a 2-week break, a very much like reset. I think yours is 7 weeks, mine is. Right, Tenerife every quarter. Let's get out there. 4 days in the sun, few drinks, relax. I don't think I can take longer because my mind's already working. I want to get back on it. And I know I'll always be run down every quarter.
Yeah.
And as long as you can understand your body's going to have a breakdown and you're going to get more stress, then that's fine. For the others, boxing. Obviously, I've got Mickey and Josh around me all the time. I balloon up and down in weight like there's no tomorrow. So I need a structure. What is right? You're gonna go on box. You've got 8 weeks. No drinking, no crap food. Da, 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 da. And if I've got a structure a bit like you, I'll stick to it. And I think sometimes that's, as a leader or any business, you need structure. You need to be right. 9:30, I'm at the gym. I'm meeting this at 12 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, I'm doing this. At 5 o'clock, I'm doing this. But stress is really hard. Like, you don't want to show people you're stressed, but in reality, you are, and you can't turn off either.
No.
I think that's the hardest bit, and we have great conversations about it and go, are you ever happy? You look at your mates and you're like, he's having a takeaway on a Friday night. You can watch a movie all the way through it and can chill out for 2 hours, or you can watch a Netflix series all day.
Yeah.
Since we've got bigger, I can't switch off. I can't. I get 1 hour a day where we'll watch Peaky Blinders because I'm behind on the series, and that's the only time I can switch off for an hour. And I'm still thinking while I'm doing it, and you go, is it a curse being driven? So we know the Gazzers, we know what's happened with Ricky Hatton today to come out with suicide. The great people are always on the cusp of falling off. Even in our line of work, you've seen them go into drinks or drugs or stuff like that. Thankfully, I always think me and you are just below that threshold of we are driven, but
madness.
Yeah.
And you got Cloud Cuckoo, and we're just mad.
and we look it because we don't teeter over it. We just, it's scary, but people can fall that well down, and it is. You have to have good people around you to keep you grounded, but it's not great. Like, you can go, oh yeah, he's wearing nice clothes, he's going on holiday, but sometimes you think, yeah, but you don't wake up in the morning, the first thing you want to do is check your phone. The last thing at night, you're looking at your phone, or you're working on a Sunday because you want to get ahead on a Monday. There's no, it's pure like insanity, isn't it? And unless you sit in our situation, I don't think people see the great life, and underneath it, you're going, I just spot that. I can't even watch football nowadays. Like, I'll go out and watch Rotherham for 20 minutes. I have to get a Rotherham plug in there.
Yeah.
I can't watch a full game of football, whereas when I was 20, I'd be standing behind the goal, shouting, swearing, getting involved in it. Now, when was the last time we've been and watched a full game of football? And
I think
enjoyed
that's
it.
important. You've got to have the right people around you, because how easy, well, I think we can see how easy it would be to go from that madness to Cloud Cuckoo. If you didn't have the right people, the right partner with me, with Ash, and the right staff around you, doing everything, helping you with stress, doing the jobs that you can't do. We've got Gemma in our admin who organises my life. You know, my number 2 in Chris Lines, who's like a calming influence. It's like getting those right people around you that take that stress away, because it's so easy. I look at it and I've got to check in myself sometimes, and I speak to you and think I'm going mad sometimes, and then you'll pull me back and I'll go back into that level of just having the cool head. But stress for me is just not dealing with your problems. So if I do my to-do list every single day, there's obviously those jobs where I want to swerve them and not do them because that one will give me more stress, or that one's a bit more of a headache, but I'll tackle it first because I know I'll feel better. And yeah, it's just interesting how people manage it. I think the best people, the most successful people, manage stress really, really well, because they just get on with things and they move on to the next thing that they got to do.
I think as we've grown, because obviously we've both grown at the same time at the same rate, the two key things what we've probably both done recently are admin, a PA, personal assistant, or we start doing stuff like, I've got a gardener come and do my gardening, or I've got a cleaner. And it's not an ego thing, it is, then when you talk about the jobs what you hate, right, you've got a PA here, right, Amelia needs, I don't know, a present for someone's party. It's all organised, it's all laid out for you so you can concentrate on the good stuff. And I think that is a really good bit of stress. Having a number 2, that sounded wrong, didn't it? And having a PA what really helps you and can just be like, right, you need to be here, you need to do that. So with me traveling about, it's, have I got milk in my fridge? Have I got this? And you look at something and go, actually, I can use Uber Eats because it's quicker and more convenient. And I think that's the new generation. To be better,
Yeah.
you have to look at all your time, because you can't get time back, can you?
No.
That's the only thing you can't get. And then you talk about your number two.
Yeah.
We said it, they probably take all of the glory, and I think I probably get a bit angry about, you work really hard, but the number two appreciates it. And if you look at football, there's always the angry manager. You see Evans and your Paul Rayner, or Warnock shouting, and Kevin Blackwell as his number two. I mean, you'll have loads of football stories
Yeah.
of, he's good, but he's always got a number two behind him.
It's a nice job being a number two.
Yeah,
It's
they
a
take
nice
all the
job.
credit, don't they?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? So you'll be working hard, and you've got Lindsay number two. Everyone loves Lindsay because it's like, Chris will listen to us. He won't bite our head off. How does it frustrate you that you don't get the appreciation what the number two gets?
Yeah, no, I think we all get appreciated, but you said a good point to me last night, is which we all want to be loved, don't we?
Yeah.
So you all want to be popular in life, and you want to be people to buy into what you're doing. And I think sometimes if you are the gaffer and you bark a little bit and say, come on, and try to give people a bit of a G up and say, we're not working quite hard enough here, and you push, it's got a different tone to that of a number two. And yeah, it's a tough one, because you can see sometimes when the number two does the same sort of stuff, people might like it a bit more because they don't want the gaffer to be edgy or on their toes, so to speak. So yeah, but you need the number two, don't you? The number two is your calming influence. You know, you've got to have people around you that challenge you as well. I mean, you're the boss. Who challenges you, would you say, that pushes and says, Scott, I don't think you should do that?
Nick pushes, but Heidi will push back on me a lot as well, or Mickey will in Boxing Gym. But actually, I think it's yourself when you're driven. It is like you've already thought what you've done wrong. So, example, because we always want more, don't we?
Mm.
So I will pick a recent example, and I'll bring the kids into it. Edie, who is 4, did her first ever event on the horses, and it was a fancy dress event. And we went to her, and she's really happy because she's going on it, and she's going to get a little rosette and all this stuff. I was stood there waiting for him to go in, and I saw 2 fancy dresses, which were 10 times better than ours. So I'm already thinking like, right, we're going to win this entry. I need to come back and go better.
Yeah.
So I think we're not crazy enough, but we're already thinking, if we do the expo at TMG, it's already out of the system before I've even done it, because I want to move on to the next thing. And maybe that's a crazy bit of being driven. It is, right, your number two will push you and go, did you think about, or don't do that yet, like, give it a week.
Yeah.
But if I've got it in my head, I'm going to do it regardless, aren't I? And
Yeah.
however many times I tell you, if my mind's made up like yours, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And I think if you procrastinate too much, it just eats you alive. And when you talk about stress, you've got to get rid of your stress early. And if you've made your mind up, right, that person's not for us, or that's not going to work, then you have to do it there and then. And it's not out of us being arseholes. It is, look, the reason like you might shout at staff or want more out of them is because you want them to do better in life. It's not a...
That's what I ask myself all the time, is if my intention wasn't to make you a better advisor, it more successful for you and your family, I think I am doing that. So hopefully that message comes across, but it's difficult to step away when you are the person that you feel like is getting prodded at. You should be doing a little bit more, but the intent is always to make someone better, and a better lifestyle, and, you know, work-life balance, and for them to be happy in what they're doing is so important to me. So
Umbrella, 26 now, 27 advisors?
Yep, 26.
26. What is Umbrella going to look like this time next year?
I want to continue the growth, absolutely. I want to work with good people, because as you grow, you get more personalities.
Yeah.
It's difficult to sort of micromanage people. So I think we need to make sure we get the right senior staff to support the advisors. And when you grow bigger, it's hard to have your eyes everywhere, isn't it? So I think we've got to grow at the right pace, but I want people to be enjoying their job. There's no better feeling when you get someone from no industry experience and they're enjoying their job, enjoying protecting people, enjoying getting paid lucratively for doing a great job, and it changing their life and thinking, God, I wonder if I can do this. And when they've come from a completely different industry, ex-footballers, ex-rugby players, you know, mums, construction workers, we've got it all. And it's just all about being a good person, I think. And those types of people, seeing them and their families. Mark Cooper was on the podcast last week. The biggest compliment he ever said to me on the phone is, we now don't have to worry about going out for dinner. We go out for dinner twice a week, and we don't have to check the bank account to say, oh, you know, can we quite afford it? And that's because he's working his socks off. And that's probably the best, or, you know, thing that...
So Coops is flying. There is a downside to all of this. So when someone's flying well and it's going well, and you're always going to get that early door where it is like, I'm hungry, I'm ready to go, I've got lots of clients to speak to. How do you deal with the advisor? What then? And we have it at work all the time. You set off like a steam train, and that lull. I think that's the most important bit, is getting them out of that little damp, because we can go quickly downhill. How do you deal with a broker, or just anyone in general, keeping them at the top of the game?
Yeah.
Because I think that's a big struggle.
Yeah.
We all...
Well, being accountable, we are driven by the sales targets, and the reality is when it becomes to the first of the month, you're on a zero. And it's like in football, you're only as good as your last game. You can have a fantastic game and then you can have a stinker the next week. And I always do say to the brokers that, like Mark, like orgs who are really successful 1 month, is well done. This is where you learn what type of person you are. Is, do you want more? Or are you going to keep celebrating what you did 1 month, 2 months ago? Because then suddenly your pipeline doesn't look great and you took your foot off the gas. So you just got to... It sounds sad that you can't really celebrate your wins. It sounds really depressing, doesn't it? But if you celebrate your wins, then you live in the past. And it's always got to be about, you know, being as productive as you possibly can and moving forward and next. So I think we've learned about Mark. He's been here for 5 months now, and he's not even not happy with himself. You know, he'll say to me, I've only done 25 policies or helped 25 clients, and it's like halfway through the month. So another advisor's mentality might be, that's amazing, look how great I'm doing, but he wants more. So you're never going to get anyone that cares about your business as much as you. You've got to get your head around that. But
So can you celebrate? Because I can't celebrate, and I used to celebrate if I've had a really bad month, because I know I can't get any worse from what I've just done. So sometimes you reflect and go, it could only get better, and I'm motivated now to go and smash it. But when was the last time you celebrated any success, or actually patted yourself on the back?
I think the story's just come into my head about how much I spit my dummy out at the awards. But I think when we are driven by the awards, I always used to think, it doesn't really matter about that sort of stuff, and let's just, you know, build and try and help as many clients, build a better life for our families. But I think the awards do drive us. And when we have got those awards, which is Firm of the Year for protection, 2 years running, obviously you're going to say about how much I spit my dummy out. And I think, but I do believe that we work the hardest. So it's like all your hard work. And I do think you drop your shoulders after you get that sort of accolade. And I think that's sort of celebrate that. Yeah.
Obviously, we'll go on about the awards and you throwing your dummy out.
In my head, yeah, but you know me if I'm getting twitchy in the corner and I'm thinking we should be winning that award. But it sounds so sad. I'm embarrassed to say it as well, but I don't know, can't change it. Or what we want to be recognised as number one, because I feel like if we're working that hard and that's our culture and that's all we've worked towards, we should deserve it.
The network's never won an award, and I've stormed out twice. I'm gone.
So you're the same
I,
group
I
as
wanted
me.
to win. I wanted to win. And you're like, I'm going home now.
Yeah.
And you to build up to an award, you're like, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. But inside, you're going, I deserve this. There's no one working harder than us. There's no one prouder than my team than I am, and you with your team. So it's for them, ain't it? It's for them winning an award. But you do think, selfishly, winning an award is great for social. It's great for more clients, great for more business.
Credibility, yeah.
So it is, to me, it's got a business angle to it as well.
Yeah.
Being up for awards. So we are now very big on, we want to get back into the local community. We want to put ourselves forward for new business of the year or the local business of the year. Why we do a lot of charity stuff. It's a self-fulfilling circle. We want to do charity stuff because we want to give back, but ultimately that gets our brand out there. We get more, we can give more to charity, and we want to help people.
Mhm.
I think that's probably part of the job what I'm enjoying at the minute.
Good.
Under the Umbrella podcast, sponsored by TMG Mortgage Network, the network built by brokers for brokers.
So round 2 of the podcast, we're going to get straight into it. I thought I should curtsy when you come in, because there's a rumour that the Lord of Rotherham has entered the building. Is that your official title now?
The Lord of the Manor of Rotherham.
Okay, correct me.
Correct, yeah. You've got to get it right.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that, how it came about. I mean, I've never met a lord, so, I mean, well, very honoured.
Curtsy. So, Lord of the Manor, I like to do random things and always
I know that.
be very random and buy stuff and then completely forget about them. So, on our team chat, there was the Lord of the Manor of Rotherham on the Sun newspaper saying, who's going to buy this? Who's going to buy? Who wants to be associated with Rotherham? I'm a proud Rotherham boy, but it was like 15 grand, I think it were.
Right.
And he's like, ego. It's like an ego thing, being Lord of the Manor of Rotherham. And everyone was laughing about it, but like Facebook's thing, just absolutely crucifying it. But in my head, I'm always thinking, right, but I can do something with that. If it's charity, or does it make the network sound better? If someone looked at the network and went, oh, it's owned by the Lord of the Manor of Rotherham, compared to it's owned by Scott Thorpe from Rotherham, it gives the network a boost, weirdly. And you go, right, that's one tick. Can we do something locally, because we're a local business, and right, you've got an office in the centre of Rotherham, you own one of the best buildings in Rotherham, how do we use it? And I don't think I ever knew how we was going to use it, and I knew people was going to take the piss out of me going, yeah, but you bought a title. But in 50 years' time, whoever has it, the children, hopefully they'll fight over it. Amelia's got her eye on it already.
Right. Does it get passed down just directly to the kids?
Yeah, you can pass these down to the children.
Okay.
So in 50 years' time, or 100 years' time, they'll just be the lady or the Lord of the Manor of Rotherham, not Scott Thorpe bought his own title. This will be, no one will know any difference. The title got bought from the Cartier family in America. So for me, that was some social media plugin going, look, I'm bringing it back home. It's in Rotherham. It's owned by Rotherham. It's random, and people will take the mickey ultimately. But if I can do some good out of it, it's been a worthwhile purchase. And if it gives us a lot of social, and we can then promote charities by saying the Lord of the Man has said this or has done that, I think it'll just give us a bit of prestige, and it'll give the network a bit of prestige. What did you think when I texted you and said,
I thought he'd lost the plot. You'd lost the plot, but I never knew that story behind it. So, yeah, I always like people who just say as it is. So the fact that you're not hiding, you have bought it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm owning it. I think it's a credible thing to do. So,
I'm a stupid bit now. It's because I always want more. Like we've been on about, you always want more. The idea is now is I bought the Lord of the Manor of Rotherham.
right.
But how do I get to be an official Lord of Rotherham? What can I do? That's the next target. How do I get the Lord of Rotherham?
So you'll never be happy.
No.
No.
I mean, if you get that, what's the next stage you want to get to? And everything you do is next one, next one.
Mm.
And the weird bit is we talk about don't celebrate it. And it's a bit like anything in my life, you think, oh, you've done a massive achievement. Like, you think there's going to be a big fanfare, right? You're officially the Lord of the Manor of Rotherham. But aren't we meant to be going out and celebrating? And
Yes.
all these little bits where someone goes, you've done fantastic. And then you're going, yeah, but just a damn swim, isn't it? You don't, what, there's no celebration. It's next. And I'd love to be a person what can live in that moment and be like, right, I'm going to go and do something with that.
Yeah. But so what advice would the Lord, the leader of TMG Mortgage Network, give to an aspiring business owner or someone who wants to improve in leadership? What's that one little nugget that you would give that bit of advice to someone?
So the little bits what make me happy are the small. So if someone said what makes you happy, I'd be like, no idea. But it is the silly things where if I go out with Jenks or Lily or someone, they will never ever let me buy a drink. They will be like, no, Scott, you're always helping other
I've
people.
not noticed that with James.
He's got. We've already got missing. It's got missing in territory.
wallet.
It's got missing in territory. But I think it is that people appreciate you. I think that's what I like, and that's what I like to give to other people. Of always try and make someone else happy. Always give before you receive. Always be like, right, I'll give you some advice. I'm not charging you for it. I'm not doing this for you. What can I give you to help you out?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big bit for me. What about yours?
I think for me, it's about habits. If my habits are not right in my life, it will come and bite me on the ass. Whereas I think for 6 years now, I've got up religiously at 6 a.m. It's very rarely I've got up past 6 o'clock. I'm working at 6 a.m. And if I behave like that, I've always thought, well, if you're going to be successful and be who you want to be as a leader, you've got to lead from the front and you've got to have them habits. And because I'm consistent with that, it's changed my life. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of my competition in my head. Before my phone starts pinging at 9 o'clock, whether that be from advisors, clients, whoever, I've already got half of my to-do list done. And you're always going to be tired, aren't you?
Yeah.
So if I got up at 9 o'clock, I'll still be tired. So I think I do challenge myself in those little short periods, right? How productive can I be in that morning? It just sets me up for a good day. So my advice to anyone, if you ain't getting out of bed, get up, and because you're always going to be tired.
Yeah.
Always going to be tired. So get up, start work at 6 o'clock.
What about a routine? Obviously, you well chiseled. Gym
Well,
play a big part in it.
It does. It's needed. It's needed for my head because I do see it as therapy. I think Chris spoke about playing football and that 90 minutes is his therapy, but me working out and going to the gym is therapy for me. I notice if I have a week off, I'm ratty. Ash would certainly, vouch for that as well. But if I don't go to the gym and have that release, there's always that perception that if you go to the gym or spend that hour, you're wasting time.
Yeah.
And I ain't got time for the gym, you hear people say. But I just find that I'm more productive because I'll get re-energized to feel better about myself. And it sorts your head out more than anything for me.
And that's where getting up at 6 o'clock or working on a Sunday frees that 2 hours to go to the gym, gets you out of the house. You can go and do an hour.
Yeah.
And you'll feel better for it. But obviously, a fitness freak. But as we all know, you only last 45 minutes on a pitch before
It's fault.
your hamstrings have gone, or there's an injury looping about with you, ain't there?
Yeah, I'll look half decent in a t-shirt, but I'll blow up on that football pitch. I think I feel like Lionel Messi for 20 minutes and thinking I'm making a comeback, and then I just get humbled with little injuries, little calf strains. It's age, isn't it?
Yeah, age.
I mean, I'm 39 now. You were 40 last year.
40 this year,
How did
big
that-
4-0.
So, I mean, the clock is ticking for all of us.
And you go again, don't want to talk about like these big events, but we all are coming. So everyone says you're 40th. Where are you going? You go to Vegas. What are you doing? Nothing. It just passed. My 40th. Heidi was poorly. We were meant to go to Leeds. We ended up going to Meadowhall, buying some gloves, and then went home, had a Chinese, and I had 2 cans of Carlin. So everyone thinks like you have
Boy.
yeah, you have this proper really good life, and I'm sat there watching some crap on TV, having 2 cans of Colin and a Chinese and in
Yeah.
bed for 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
Maybe that's the bit of life, like, you don't... What you think's great isn't. Everyone thinks, oh, you're going to have a big party or you're doing this. You just got to get on and crack on. Like, things happen in life and you can't... I think probably maybe that thing for people is don't mope. Just get on with it. And people will always be like, there's always a problem. There's always a problem in everyone's life. And the busier you are and the more successful you are, the more problems come at you.
Yeah.
And you've just got to be able to go, let's crack on. Let's crack on. Right. There's always going to be a problem. There's always an issue. Every day in my life, there's an issue, but you can't let it bog you down. You just have to be like, right,
Yeah.
I need to go. You can't have this... People will be, why always me, P? Why always me? Well, that's because you've been successful. If you don't want a problem in your life, you're going in 20 grand a year working in a Tesco's, and at home there'll be no issues. But if you want to be successful, get used to being stressed. Get used to problems hitting your desk every day. Get used to, I don't know, you running out of petrol and your Tesla running out of electricity because you wrote it. Yeah.
It's going to happen, wasn't it? But that interests me all the time because there's a perception that the bigger you grow your business, the easier it's going to get because you might have a bit more money in the bank and you've got other people working around you. But people say often when we're top of the leaderboard, I do hear the whispers, oh, it's easy for Umbrella because they've got so many other advisors out there working. But I feel like saying to those 1-man bands or 2-man bands, 3-man bands, whatever they are, try it because it don't get easier. Like, your problems get bigger. You can't have your eyes everywhere. And yeah, it don't get any easier, does it?
No. So there's one bit what makes life easier at the minute. Our good friend, so Ash will tell you off for it all the time. Heidi will say to me, just ask your friend in the phone, just ask your friend for anything in our life. So we've both been bit by the ChatGPT and the AI bug. How do you find it? What's good, what's bad? How has it changed your life? And yeah, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I love it. I run all my emails. Like you said, I do everything really quick. So I'm very detailed, but my grammar might not be the best at times. So it'll correct me all the time, make sure my grammar is obviously polished, but I'll run every email, every message, and it just does it better. I think if you're not embracing it, you're going to fall behind. It's the future.
Yeah.
I mean, what you mentioned there about Ash, I think there was one day last week where I was really getting excited over it and sharing with the advisors, you need to be using this. Look what I've just done. Look at the way this WhatsApp message looks, how much more professional. And I think there was a comment from Ash which says, oh my God, how much are you loving ChatGPT today, by the way? So I wound her up. I actually asked ChatGPT, can you create me an AI girlfriend? And it did it all. It said, yeah, what type of vibe would you like her to have? What type of personality would you like to have? So I was sending this to Ash, winding her up, saying, see, there's nice to have options.
have you done the scary one? Because I told you to do this, where you download your WhatsApp message and then you export it into ChatGPT and it tells you about your relationship.
No, I'm not brave enough to do that, I don't think.
I think we could do that and then set up a divorce company on the back of it.
Okay.
But it'll tell you what they like, what they don't like. So if Ash says, I need some flowers, if you've exported it, it'll tell you what kind of flowers she likes. Because she'll have forgot what they are.
Yeah.
Or what's your favourite wine or whatever it is. So it does a lot of crazy stuff.
It's brilliant though. I mean, what you said there about exporting the chat, for us as a business, we're big on the communication and buying into our culture and being active. We can actually put our WhatsApp chat for the group of Umbrella into there and it will show on a pie chart who is the most active advisor, who sends the most messages, who's the most engaging. And we can just send it in the group and go, guys. And more often than not, the ones that are top of the tree and the most successful in helping as many clients are the ones that engage as much. So I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I'm a boy from Rotherham. What if you ask my mates, my writing, grammar, my text messages, because you'll see them.
Yeah.
You have to look at it 4 times and go, what are you on about, Scott? And now I'm about to launch the book in like 3 weeks. And you go, but the reason why we've done it and I think the reason why we're successful is we bought into it, and the reason I was doing the book was I wanted to have the best ChatGPT in the UK. I mean, who thinks of I want the best ChatGPT? Ask me 4 hours worth of questions while I go on a plane, so you get to know me better. And at the end of it, I'd done 12 hours worth, and now it speaks like me, it talks like me, it's written the entire book for me. But you have to be careful, because you can spot a ChatGPT a mile off. It's got emojis, it's got double hash lines on it. And for anyone who use it, it's great if you use it the right way, but if you use it the wrong way, and I've seen it in emails, and I will shout at the staff for it, is
You were going to say bollock then, weren't you?
yeah, I'm going to say bollock, but I know compliance will listen to this. But it's pointless. If you use ChatGPT to write you an email, and then you post it without any feeling or talking about people, you're going to bin it. I've seen some of our staff emails, and I'll delete them and go, why this? What is the point of using it if you're not going to put your twist on it? If I do a post, I'll change it maybe 20 times before I'm happy with it. So it'd be easier doing it yourself, but ultimately it makes you sound a lot posher, and it gets the point across. But if you want to be lazy with it, you're going to end up going backwards rather than going forward. So you've got to invest properly, I think.
Yeah. And you've got to be careful with it, because it's not always right. I'm sorry to say, I put into it the other day, tell me about all the benefits of Aviva's fracture cover, which I know already, but I just thought I'd save myself time. It started talking about ligaments, dislocations, tendons. I was thinking, that's the old policy here. So my experience obviously showed me that that's wrong. So that's the first time I spotted it and thought, right, you've got to be careful with it, because it might not always be right. So pros and cons, but more pros, I would say.
Have you done Matt Collins' ex-football and see what it comes up with?
I can't lie, can I? Yes, I have, yeah.
I'm very bad at it now. I always put Scott Thorpe, what is the latest news? And it'll just pull a load of I think that's kind of a proud moment, because you've got all your socials on there.
Yeah.
But you can use it for everything, can't you? You can set up kind of, I'm looking at a house, can you give me an update every morning of the houses? I use it for my greyhounds, and I study the betting form on it. Can you study the race, what's going to win, what's not going to win? It's a crazy, crazy world.
Yeah, it is. And I think what it whittles out is those stupid questions in the group. Obviously, yes, we've got experienced advisors who have got the knowledge, but obviously for us to answer a question, that's our time. And if you've got ChatGPT, you know, that's like a ready-made advisor with perhaps the answer to get it quicker than, so we don't have to put into a group of 26 advisors where 26 sets of eyes are on a question, taking you away from what you're actually doing at that point. So we do say to advisors, a lot of the times, if there is a question where it's a simple answer and it doesn't need the experience of advice, I'll just put the ChatGPT emoji in there. And I'm sort of getting my message across, like, come on, save us time now. Embrace the technology. But yeah, we love it.
And you're big on time, aren't you? Anything you can do to save time, you do. Like, what have I got in my life? What takes time? Why am I taking an hour doing the washing when I can get someone to do the washing, and I can earn more money rather than not doing it?
Yeah. I say that all the time, because Ash moans at me if I don't do the gardens. I actually have embraced my Alan Titchmarsh now. So I do the garden, I'll put a podcast on. I quite enjoy that. But there's other things that absolutely get someone to do it.
Are you going to grow some vegetables?
I think that'll be Ash's role, I think. But no, that's not on my to-do list. But Scott, thank you for today. How have you enjoyed it?
Wonderful. Thank you very much. My first one. Hopefully you might invite me back for the Christmas special.
Absolutely.
Can we do a live one in the pub?
I think so.
God, that's what we want.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Top man. Thank you. So if you've enjoyed this episode with myself and Scott, and you want to learn more about what TMG do and how you would go about joining them, click the links below.
I think we're onto something good.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the show. Before you go, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified of our next episode.
Don't let it get